Respected Srimati Mirabai, my friend Venkatesh Ramakrishnan, Dr. Joshi, Dr. Balakrishnan, Kasima, Advocate Raju, Balchandran, and Rajan, who gave us a wonderful Geetam. My dear friends, I'm privileged to be here to deliver the CJS discourse. It's a very humbling experience. I've not personally known Sivasankaran Master, but I've heard about the wonderful work that he initiated and carried out throughout his life till the end. In fact, we from Andhra Pradesh used to hear so much about Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishad. We had an organization in Andhra Pradesh modeled after Shastra Sahitya Parishad called Jana Vijnana Vedika. You know, if at all there are times when you miss people like Sivasankaran Master, it is these times when there is so much of anti-science, anti-scientific temper is around us. Right from the highest office, political office in the country, to the judiciary, and to so many practicing doctors and practicing advocates, and so many professionals are now attracted to superstition, anti-science, and anti-scientific beliefs. It is these times actually that require people like Sivasankaran Master. I am also humbled to be standing in front of you, such wonderful luminaries who are committed to upholding our democratic values, our secular values, and the values that are enshrined in our Constitution: justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity, secularism. They are in danger. In fact, today, I want to spend some time on what is the nature of the threat to our democracy, which is in the form of an attack on the universal adult franchise, which is a unique feature of India. No other country, as far as I know, has gone for universal adult franchise from day one. Even the so-called mature, developed countries and democracies, they took their own time to extend franchise to women, franchise to people who did not study, who had no educational qualifications, who did not pay taxes, who had a different color of their skin. There's so many. countries. But we chose universal adult franchise from the beginning. That is today in peril. I will spend some time. Venkatesh told me to speak about 45 to 50 minutes. I'll do that. But after that, I want to have some kind of a discussion. Because I do not believe in man ki baat. Just talk and go away. No. I want an interaction. I'm standing here to speak about this, and I will submit every word, every letter, every data point that I utter today from here to your merciless scrutiny. I am prepared to be challenged, and I say whatever I say with utmost responsibility. I am not just saying anything out of the thin air. I am going to say everything here with utmost responsibility, and after considerable amount of research and fact check. So therefore, we should have an engagement after we complete the discourse. Today there is special intensive revision that is going on in the country. It started in Bihar. It is now in 9 states and 3 union territories. What is SIR? I've been speaking about this, and there are different questions, different dimensions of defense of SIR. Let's understand why and how people have marketed SIR. I'm using every word and submit that to your scrutiny. It is being marketed. How is this marketed? It is marketed as cleaning up of the electoral rolls. We want, of course, we want a clean electoral roll. Who doesn't want? I want. Sri Balakrishnan wants. Dr. Joshi wants. Everybody wants. My friend Venkatesh wants. You also want, Mirabaiji. Everybody wants. Clean. I do not want anybody who is not a voter to be a voter. I do not want, like all of you, anybody who is dead to be in the voters list. I do not want anybody who is shifted out of this place to be on the voters list. I do not want one name appearing several times as a duplication. No, I don't want. I want a clean electoral roll. But is that what is happening? SIR is supposed to be cleaning up of the voters list. And we all agree that it should be cleaned up. If at all there are any discrepancies, I have absolutely no idea. No objection to that. But, you know, when something sinister is being done, it is always marketed as a very honest and desirable thing. You know, some time back, United States used to have a strategic air wing called the Strategic Air Services. They used to have all these B-20 bombers and all that. They used to bomb. They participated in several bombings and, you know, bombings of civilian populations, civilian targets and all that. You know what was their motto? Every company, every organization has a motto. The motto of SAS, Strategic Air Services of the United States Air Force, was "Peace is our mission." That was the motto of the Strategic Air Services. So, but do you buy that? No. That is marketing. But what is the actual thing? Actual thing there was to bomb. Here is not to clean up the electoral roll, but something else. Let us see what it is. You know very well that before every election, there's something called SSR is undertaken. Summary revision. Special summary revision. It is routine. Normally it happens between October and January. And after the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, we had SSR from somewhere around October to January. It's over. It was over. After that was over, the Election Commission had announced SIR, Special Intensive Revision. Well, the Election Commission of India had said that they had commissioned a study by an organization, and that organization's study came up with the finding that SSR which was conducted was not satisfactory, and the electoral rolls in the country still are not very clean, and they had to be cleaned up. That was what the Election Commission of India had said. Therefore, they said they had initiated the SIR to start with in Bihar, and after that they would extend it to throughout the country. Fair enough. People like us asked the Election Commission of India, which is the organization that you had commissioned to carry out the study? What was their report? Can we have a copy of it? And what were the recommendations by that report? Till today, as we speak, the Election Commission did not tell us which is the organization which had conducted the study, and what is their report, and what are the recommendations. And much later, just about 15-20 days ago, there's somebody called Anjali Bharadwaj. She is a very active right to information person. She had asked the Election Commission about normally in a government department, government organization, you have, before taking any decision, you have a file notings, recommendations, discussions, all that. So she wanted to get under RTI what were the file notings, what were the decisions, what were the recommendations, and what was the nature of discussion within the Election Commission of India. The Principal Secretary to Election Commission of India gave a reply in writing to this application that Election Commission of India has not decided on conducting special intensive review. Now the question is, who decided to conduct the SIR? That is a mystery. Nobody knows. And Election Commission's Principal Secretary had said that in writing. Then what happened? We already had an SIR in the state of Bihar. After that, elections were also conducted. Before SIR, The total number of voters in the state of Bihar was 7.79 crores. Even the 7.79 crores also falls short of what should be the number of electors or voters in Bihar. I'll tell you why. Because ours is a system of universal adult franchise. Anybody who is 18 plus should be a voter. Now, for every state and for the entire country, although the census had not taken place after 2011, even then, on the basis of various surveys that happened, you will have a number of adult population in every state and in the entire country. Adult population meaning 18 years and plus. So on that basis, Bihar's adult population is 8.22 crores. Instead of 8.22, if not 8.22 crores, maybe it could be 8.2 crores or 8.2.1 crore or whatever. Slightly here, it could be, a few lakhs less. But what was the number of electors in Bihar even before the SIR? That was, as I said, 7.79 crores. After SIR, that came down to 7.42 crores. It should have been 8.22, forget about 8.22. It should have been at least 7.79, but after SIR, it came down to 7.42, which means that the gap is about 80 lakh votes. Please follow this. Who are the people who were taken out? The total, normally when you have the adult population, you have male, female, and voters also you have male, female classification. The total number of women voters who were deleted were 16 lakhs, which is far below their population proportion. Then what happened? Then what happened was that another section which was deleted were a lot of Muslims. Initially, the contraction of Muslims, the proportion is about 17% in Bihar. Their contraction was 25%. Then, after further scrutiny, applications, deletions, additions and all that, finally the net was 33%. Now, then of course there are figures for Adivasi, there are figures for, people who are not likely to vote, or sections that are not likely to vote, or professions that are not likely to vote, etc., etc. So therefore, there was a deficit of about 80 lakh votes. Some people tell me, used to ask me immediately after the elections were over, the results have come out, and the opposition performed very badly, people said. They got how many, Venkatesh? About 23 or 25 or something like that, yes. They said very poor performance. I said, no, it is not poor performance. You see, if the government thought that among these 7.42, an overwhelming majority are our own people, and they have systematically deleted those people who are not likely to vote for them, even then, getting even one seat is a great thing. Isn't it? So in spite of all that, now you see, with SIR, what has happened is that so far we are used to a system, all of us are used to a system where voters decided who should be in the government. That's the normal course anywhere. And we are also used to it for the last 7 decades or more. Today, after SIR, it is not the voters who decide who should be in the government, but it is the government who is deciding who should be the voter. The tables are turned. Now, government says, yes, you can be a voter. No, you can't be a voter. Yes, you can be a voter. You can be a voter. You can be a voter. You can't be a voter. That is what is happening. The government is deciding who should be the voter. It is not the voter who is deciding who should be in the government. We have reached that stage because of SIR. I'll tell you, give you some more. Now, what is the justification? As they said, it's the cleaning up. Cleaning up on the basis of what? Cleaning up on the basis of what they say SADD. Shifted, absent, dead, or duplicate. SADD. All right. Well, I don't want anyone from these 4 categories to be in the voters list. I agree. But is that what has happened? Now, let us look at the Bihar experience. In Bihar, what happened was, and there's one more, that there are so many foreigners, infiltrators. In fact, foreigners are deciding who should be the Prime Minister, who should be the Chief Minister, who should be your Member of Parliament, who should be your Legislative Assembly MLA member. So we are weeding out foreigners, we are weeding out SADD. This was the thing. All right. First, let us take up the foreigners question. Now, if at all, there is one place in India where foreigners issue is the most contentious. It is the state of Assam, isn't it? There was a huge agitation. Young fellows became chief ministers and ministers. They established a government also because of the agitation against the foreigners, presence of foreigners. And there was a tribunal, foreigners tribunals. You know, there was NRC there, identified. But when all this is happening in the country, Assam is not having SIR. No special intensive revision in Assam. It is only SR. It is only special revision. Why? If your intention is to weed out foreigners, your first attempt, your first effort should be in the state of Assam. Why are you not doing it in Assam? That's the question. Because by the time that they have decided on the SIR, foreign tribunals weren't functioning, and they have identified 19 lakh people without documents. 19 lakh people in the state of Assam. Not SIR, but before. Out of that, 7 lakhs for Muslim, 12 lakhs are Hindus. Now you know why Assam does not have SIR. Because they don't want to take out their people. You know, today the state of India, government of India has our people and not our people. This is the basis. Okay, that is Assam. Only SIR, only SR, no SIR. And they're talking about taking out, weeding out foreigners. All right. And this government, the present government which is conducting the SIR, has been in power for about 11 years now. In these 11 years, they have deported only 15,000 foreigners. So they've deported just 15,000. We know with all the might of the state, And in most of these places, it is their party, double engine sarkar, which is in power. And there's one more interesting thing. Of late, among the deported people, the highest number are from Nigeria, not Bangladesh. Bangladesh is second or third. So, this is a bogey. Well, if you go a little deeper into this, when about 67 lakh people were deleted, names were deleted, people went to court and asked, who are these people? And what is the reason for deleting these people? We want a list and we want reasons for deletion. The Election Commission repeatedly refused to give and publish the full list and the reason for deletion. But for some reason, the Supreme Court of India was very persistent. It said, no, you have to give. After 3, 4, 5 times of insistence, the Election Commission of India has finally relented and published the list. But they did not give you a consolidated list of all those 67 odd lakh people, their names and reasons. What they have done instead, very cleverly, they said, we will give, but the list of people deleted from this booth will be displayed only in this booth. I can't have access to this sitting in another booth. My booth I'll have, that's all. But people in this country, some of us are very vigilant. Somehow or the other, they went to every booth, collected the information and brought together, like they've done it in electoral bonds issue. They've published it. Now tell me, nobody found even one name against which the reason for deletion is foreigners. Not a single name. So, what is the cleaning up that is happening? It is not foreigners. If you want me to give you an example of it, you see, in total, how many objections have come? Total objections in Bihar were 3.75 lakhs. We can object saying that, Venkatesh doesn't live in here anymore, he's not here, he's shifted. That kind of objections other people can submit. 3.75 was the total number of objections submitted, of which 1,087 were on account of being a foreigner. Out of 3.75, only 1,087 were foreign. The reason was given as foreigner. And the Election Commission, after the initial scrutiny of the 1,087, Election Commission has decided to examine, because there is some case there, some weight in this argument, in only 390 cases. You just see how the arithmetic works. In that 390, only 76 were Muslim names. And the area which has so much of concentration of, any suspicion of foreigners is an area called Seemanchal. Like in every state there are regions, like Seemanchal. In that Seemanchal, there are 10 of such names in this list. Of the 76, there are 10. And in that 10, take this figure. In that 10, only 5 names were Muslim. Of those 5, 2 were dead and only 3. Of the 67 lakh people they deleted, they found only 3 names which were of Muslims who were eligible for deletion on account of being a foreigner. So is this foreigners? No. And is it Bangladeshi? No. Your deportation figures show that you have deported more Nigerians than Bangladeshis. All right. So what is this all about? And what is the other thing? The other thing is that there's so many fake names, duplicate names. All right. And at the same time, the Election Commission had already gone on record insofar as Bihar was concerned that they are not in possession of a usable deduplicating software. They have not used deduplication at all. That is the reason why you had a Brazilian appearing in so many, model appearing in so many places in one state or the other. So there are so many duplicate names. And then you have, in one address, 509 people residing. 509. In another place, 409 people were residing. Is it humanly possible for one single address to have 409, 509? So, somebody like Venkatesh, a curious investigative journalist, had gone to that place, some constituency called Pipra. Where is this place? How does it look? Which is housing 509 people. Then when the journalists group went there, the best thing was they did not find that house. An non-existing house had 509 voters registered. 500 voters of all castes, all communities, all religions, all age groups registered there. Who are these people? No duplication. And there were people living in house number 0. There are people whose names were just gibberish. There are people whose father or husband's name was ABCDFGH. And after typing ABCDFGH, probably the person got tired, and many people had their father or husband name as Election Commission of India. So this is the question of duplication, and so many people living in one address, having Election Commission of India as husband and father. So this is what you have. And then some people were taken out saying that they were dead. And some of our friends have taken them to the Supreme Court of India, and they stood in the court number 1 or court number 2, and said, "Sir, we are alive." So it was not dead, it was not shifted, it was not duplicate, it was not foreigner, it was not absent. Now in Bengal, you have reports, the Hindu ground report from Bengal showed, and with mentioning the names of people who said, "See, we got a notice saying that we have shifted, but I'm here. I don't know where to go." The retired naval chief had notices. Has he shifted? Amartya Sen had a notice. He has to prove that, he is eligible to vote. The poor man, in spite of working for decades in places like London School of Economics, Oxford, Cambridge, Yale, Princeton, everywhere, he still retains his Indian citizenship and comes periodically to cast his vote. And that man today is asked to prove, are you eligible to vote? And now, you see, there's one more thing. Election Commission of India repeatedly says that this is nothing new, we have done it earlier. 2003, we have done it. This is nothing new, this is not a new process. SIR has been happening. Now, I was a voter in 2003, 2004. I'm sure a lot of you, except, probably one or two younger people here, but most of you were also voters in 2003, 2004, isn't it? Isn't it? Is there anybody who was not a voter in 2002, 2003? Okay. Now, I want to ask from here, have you gone to any office to prove that you are a citizen of India eligible to be enlisted as a voter? Have you submitted any document to anybody ever? Have you? I have not. Has it happened in Kerala, Venkatesh? Now, what is this then? So, it has not happened before. It's not about dead people. It is not about foreigners. It is not about absent people. It is not about shifted people. It is not about duplication. Then what is this about? Then, the second phase of SIR is on. In Uttar Pradesh, of course, there are 9 states and 3 union territories. You know all of them. Your state is one. In Uttar Pradesh, the list is out. Then, that list tells you that 2.89 crore people are candidates for deletion. That is 18.7% of the electorate of UP. Who are these people? In Gujarat, it's 73 lakh people. That is 14.5%. Tamil Nadu, it is 97.37 lakh people, which is 15.9%. In West Bengal, 54 lakh people, that is 7.59. Rajasthan, 42 lakh people, that is 7.65. Madhya Pradesh, 42.7 lakhs, that is 7.45%. Chhattisgarh, 27 lakhs, that is 12.88%. Kerala, your state, 24.8 lakh people, that is 12.88%. Andaman and Nicobar, it is 20.62, it's a small place, but 20.62% voters are being deleted. Puducherry, 10.12%. Lakshadweep, 2.47%. Lakshadweep is even smaller. So in total, almost about roughly on average, about 14% of the electorate is being trimmed down. Why? Who are these people? Is it cleaning up? It's not cleaning up. Nothing to do with SADD or foreigners. There's something else that is going on here. It's almost about in total this 9 states and 3 union territories, it's about 6.5 crore people who are going to be disenfranchised. I want you to put this 6.5 crore people number in context. For people from India, 6.5 crore is nothing, isn't it? It's a small number. But I tell you, there are in this world about 175 independent sovereign countries whose population is less than 6.5 crores. So which means you are taking out countries from your voters list. Countries. This is a massive exercise in disenfranchisement. So a universal adult franchise is in peril. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay. You know, in the world, 85 to 90% of the countries have 6.5 crore or less population. 85 to 90% of the countries. That is what the great Election Commission of India is doing. You know, when I go around and speak here and there, maybe also online interviews, and I go on saying that Election Commission is doing this. A friend of mine, he said, Prabhakar, why are you bothered about Election Commission of India? And he said, you see, don't worry about Election Commission of India, because you see, Bharatiya Janata Party, which is the ruling party in this country now, head of the NDA, it has different organizations to take care of different tasks. To mobilize women, they have Mahila Morcha. To mobilize farmers, they have Kisan Morcha. To mobilize young people, they have Yuva Morcha. To conduct elections and fight elections, they have Election Morcha. Election Morcha is nothing but Election Commission of India. That's what they said. And it's credible, isn't it? Even to me, it made sense. I didn't say it, but he said it. I don't want to name him because I don't want to endanger his career and his life. Well, there are intellectuals in this country, political activists in this country, political parties in this country, political leaders in this country. Most of them, unfortunately, look at this as an election-related issue. But I want to submit one idea to you. Please think about this. This is not an election-related issue. It is an effort to completely change the character of Indian nation. Please think about this. It's a serious issue. It's not an election. Whether he wins, how she wins, or they win, or these people, I have nothing to do with it. But this is much larger issue, much deeper issue. What is that issue? You see, when nation states started emerging in the world, formally it happened in 1648 after Treaty of Westphalia in Europe. But the beginnings were much earlier, from the 12th, 13th centuries. Then the question was, what is a nation? Of course, you build a state. You have judiciary, you have executive, you have legislature, you have how to distribute power, who should be elected, who should not be elected, how they should be elected, who should they be accountable to, all that. The state structure. Then, who is the part of that state? Is the second part. It is nation-state, isn't it? That's what we learn. Nation-state. But who is the nation? Every nation in Europe, in America, in South America, North America, Sub-Saharan Africa, South Africa, Asia, everywhere in the world, every society thought about this, fought about this. Who should be the nation? Nation is people who speak our language, people who worship our gods, people who follow our culture, people who are our color, our race, our language, who speak our language. So there was a criteria. And those people who are not of your culture, your language, your religion, your color, your race, are outsiders. They should either be kicked out or killed. If possible, if it is possible to kick out, kick out. Nations have done it. You know, you have so many instances. I mean, the biggest thing which everybody can really easily recall is Germany under Hitler, isn't it? So anybody who doesn't belong to us should either be kicked out or killed. If it is not possible to kill, kick them out. If it is not possible to kick them out, kill them. There is only majority, there is no minority. In case for whatever reason minority has to be tolerated within your territory, they can be tolerated, not accepted, tolerated without any rights, without any citizenship rights. They are not your nation. They might have, they might have permission to live here, they can go around, they can shop, they can buy things, they can talk, etc., etc., but they are not part of your political community. But today, in India, when we gained independence, India, as we talked earlier, is the only country which did not ever debate who should be our nation, who should be outside our nation, who is part of us, who is not part of us. Yes. We never, our founding parents, the Constitution, they never debated this. They only said whoever is living within the territory of India is a citizen of India with full rights. Isn't it? This is unique about Indian Constitution. This is the speciality of the founding parents of our Constitution and of our Republic. Nowhere in the world, no enlightened, in spite of, American Declaration of Independence has very lofty things. All men are born equal. But you see, that is bogus. They had to, from 1776 to 1968, they had to wait to give voting rights to the black people. What kind of a lofty idea is that? There's no lofty idea. But India, women, whether you are male or female, whether you pay taxes or not, whether you have educational qualifications or not, except if you're unsound mind, that's a different thing. Whether what language you speak, what religion you follow, which region you are, no discrimination at all. Everybody is a part of our political society with equal rights and a franchise. That was the universal adult franchise in India. Nowhere else in the world this has happened. Today, there are people who are saying that India is owned only by a particular religion, people who follow a particular religion. That is, India is owned by Hindus. This is a Hindu nation. This is a Hindu Rashtra. Nobody else has any rights here. We'll attack Christians. We'll boycott Muslims. We'll lynch them. We'll throw them out. Did you notice that this is the first time in the history of India that the Union Cabinet has no member representing the largest minority in this country? There is no Muslim member in the Union Cabinet today. Not only there is no Muslim member in the Union Cabinet, there is no Muslim member in the legislature party or the parliamentary party of the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, either in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha. We don't want you. The message is very clear. Not only in the union, not only in the cabinet, not only in parliament, but also the states in which they are ruling for a long time. Gujarat, there is no member belonging to Muslim community in their legislature party. In UP, there is nobody. Not only that there are nobody, they don't even give a ticket. It's clear. With you, without you, in spite of you, that used to be the catchphrase by L.K. Advani earlier. Now, without you, I'm clear. No, you have no place here. That is the idea. Now, why SIR is doing this. SIR is doing this because in 2025-2026, in India, you can't really do what Hitler had done, or what happened in Nagorno-Karabakh, or what happened in Rwanda, or what happened in Hungary. You can't kill people. So, what you have to do, or what the ruling dispensation today decided to do, is how do you kill a citizen? If you kill the citizenship, you're killing the citizen, isn't it? In the modern world. And what is the heart of citizenship? The heart of citizenship is franchise. If you are not voter, you are no good. You are not part of the political community of this country. Now, imagine we are all living in one colony, and none of us has a vote. Tell me if any politician will come to us with folded hands. Will they? Will they come? Nobody will bother. Will they give you electricity connection? Will they give you water connection? Will they collect the garbage? The municipality, will anybody come there? No. Only because you're a citizen and you can decide who gets elected, until then they are with you. They come, they care. But today, if this happens, if all this happens, second phase happens, third phase happens, every phase, all the phases happen, and 6.5 crores, 7.5 crores, 10.5 crores, 11.5 crores, 20 crores, 30 crores are deleted. Only people belonging to one particular religion or denomination, culture, language, if they only remain in the voters list, then do you have to declare? The other day, Sri Mohan Bhagwat said, we don't have to have any constitutional permission to declare that India is a Hindu Rashtra. We can do it. No, this is what they are doing it. They will do it. You don't have to declare it also. Ultimately, India will become that kind of a state, that kind of a Rashtra. That is their goal. SIR is nothing but a peaceful political genocide. Nothing but a peaceful political genocide. That is what SIR is. It is not just an electoral issue. It is not just an universal adult franchise which is in peril. But what is in peril is our republic, our idea of India, the core values that are embedded in the 1950s social compact that we worked out in the name of the Constitution of India. That is being threatened. I want to, you know why I came here particularly. Of course, it's always great to come here. And I have a huge respect for Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishad, and somebody who is associated and somebody who was a towering personality in the Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishad, Prof. Sivasankaran. I've come to pay my respects. In addition, I've come here to make an appeal to you. My friend Balachandran had already said, please don't think I appeal to you with folded hands. Don't, for God's sake, ever think that nothing will happen to Kerala. Your Western Ghats are not going to protect you. No. In fact, we are sitting right in a place which has already experienced the breach. Please understand this. This is very important. Because if you read any of the writings of Golwalkar or in contemporaries later on, you know, they have been working here since when? 33? 25. No, 25 is in the country. But in Kerala, they started coming here with specific pointed interests since 1933, I think. They said Kerala is a place where 3 mortal enemies of Bharat live here. You know who they are? Three. Communists, Muslims, and Christians. They should be cleansed. So, it is not a cleaning up of water slit, it is a cleansing, political, ethnic cleansing of India that is happening through SIR. Now, you see, look at the, 24, you had a BJP victory here. And most people thought, BJP victory, something has happened, some people have, defected, some people are getting attracted. There might be, but the essential reason for that is that there was an artificial inflation, artificial infusion of votes to the extent of 6.17%, which translates into, if you distribute that equally among all the, you have 21 seats here, all the 21 seats, it works out to be 86,606 per constituency, and this constituency, the BJP could win with 74,686. So with that artificial infusion of votes to a large extent, there might be some defections also, that's a different thing. But the principal reason for this is that. So SIR combined with this kind of electoral percentage manipulation is the reason for your breach here. Now, in 84, the BJP polled 1.8% votes, Venkatesh. Last 2024 election, they polled 16.8%. Look at this. They're creeping. Beware of that. So my appeal to you is, whoever can speak about this, please speak up. Whoever can write about this, please write. Whoever can mobilize people around this issue, please mobilize. If somebody can't do these things, at least give support, material support to those people who are doing this. And if you can't give material support, give at least moral support. Just, pat them on the back, saying that, please go ahead, we're all there with you. It has to be a mission. Now, I want to leave you with one thought. Venkatesh has said 1925, when I was referring to, they started their work. See, 1925 today is 100 years. For 100 years, there are people, there is an army, a disciplined army, a very highly motivated army, dedicated army, which has been consistently working to undermine the core values of India. It's an army, formidable army. I want to leave you today with this one question. Where is the army to defend those core values of the Constitution, core values of our public life? Is there an army? Is there not a need for an army? I think we have to organize in order to stem this rot. And finally, sir, madam, we don't have much time. If we can't arrest this rot and trend and this slide in the next few months, we cannot reclaim the idea of India anymore. It will be a done deal. It will be a point of no return soon. Please wake up, and please wake up other people and make them work for it. Ask them to come out, mobilize, and stem this. Thank you.